EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Indianapolis Colts.
On 1st and 10, Locke. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They'll fake it. Now Locke. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Bud Dupree in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Luck in the Colts looking for something big here after the sack. This is 3rd and long. Now a play fake, and it's Locke. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. This is Hines. And a short gain down to about the 33. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They run with Hines. And a nice move, but can't break away. Down just inside the 30. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
And Vinatieri's kick is good. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On second down, it's Bell. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd-and-1 situation. They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. First carry for James Conner, and he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Danico Autry is in on the stop.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Roethlisberger will hand to Conner. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown, complete. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. That one goes for 24 yards. And connection number 1 there on the game, Roethlisberger to Boney Tony. Antonio Brown, that's what his high school teammates used to call it.
I wonder what they would call him now.
More muscular, more successful Boney Tony Brown, right?
I'd say you're probably right. It may be all of that. They'll still call him Boney Tony, but Ben Roethlisberger calls him my number 1 target.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They'll run it with Bell. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Now after the run by Bell, here's another 1st and 10. Here's Conner. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 10 more there and another 1st down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
He's going to get it running right. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. He's going to get it running right. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Here's Bell. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Give him 4 yards there, but they're still well short of the goal line with 4th down now looming.
This offense bent the defense in their long drive downfield, but once they got within sight of the goal line, the defense went to don't break mode and is stiffened.
Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. And the first play will be a field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Boswell's kick is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And the Colts getting ready to go. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
They'll start on the ground with Hines. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. It's Big Vince Williams who made the tackle.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Here's Hines. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Give the tackle there to Morgan Burnett.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There's absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. Throwing on 3rd down, Luck. And a 3rd down pass falls incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
With it is Brown. 39 yards on the punt. Give him just 1 yard on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And now out come the Steelers. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe bashed it.
Super toe.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to run.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
77. You good from the cross?
Counter. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Le'Veon Bell, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field. Yeah,
just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. To throw on 2nd down is Locke. Looking for his tight end read, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Morgan Burnett, and his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
A give to Bell. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
To go here in the first half. We'll come back to Indianapolis right after this. The give is to Bell. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. After the penalty, it's Bell. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Let's go!
They run with Connor. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Well, that one was over before it could get rolling. How about the D just knifing into the backfield and shutting that one down?
It's on target, but it's no good. He had it on line, but it came up just shy of the crossbar. And this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Eluding the pressure right. Caught on the right side, Reed. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. That late in the clock, 2nd quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
After the interception, it's Love. Looking deep for Hilton. And he's got his man. It's Hilton for the Colts touchdown. T.Y. Hilton in the final seconds of the first half. And the Colts are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Vinatieri connecting on the extra point. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And that'll bring up second down. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. This is Bell. And he will perhaps get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And time has run out on this first half. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a tie ball game here heading to break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and they ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
Back to the ground, this time with Bell. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
22, 44. Go. Take both of them.
Bell. And some space here. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Tackle made by Zaire Franklin.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.